Yes, guys, hello, how are you doing? Welcome again to my channel. My name is Alphonse, and today I want to tell you my story, how I almost got into depression. First and foremost, let's proceed by storytelling. Guys, I don't know if I've ever been to this situation whereby when all of a sudden everything you had just comes down and vanish like this. Like before you were somewhere or going somewhere or climbing somewhere, but uh, along the way things just turn and go down. So it happens to me back in 2021. I'd saved some good amount, and I decided let me invest this business because where I was employed, I was into retail business, wholesale and retail business. So I'd worked there since 2017, 18, 19, 20, 2021. So apparently I stopped working there 20, can I say 2020 December. So I decided, let me now start my own business. So being that I've already I had experience of the business, I had the connection of the suppliers, of the source of the goods. So I had, can I say, experience. But what I didn't had, of which I could have just waited. That's why you're told. That's why you normally told. You hear, and sometimes you're normally told, patient. Learn to be patient. I didn't have the experience of managing business. I had experience of business, like operating a business, but didn't have the experience of managing a business. There are two different things in business. There's business management, business operation, and yeah, exactly. Business operation is whereby you can just maybe you know how to buy and sell things, where to source, to talk to clients. I'm very good at that in talking to clients, and I'm very quick and in learning that. But business management is whereby you know how to manage business. Now you're there, you are now managing and budgeting. Like this month, you're budgeting. Business. There's what we call rent. There's what we call savings. There's what we call electricity bill. There's what we call salary for yourself. So before you start a business, what are the things you're supposed to encounter before you start any business? Yes, I think that is the point I really got, can I say, miscarried away, and I just didn't get the, you know, it happens like we were out of we were just from, not that much from the COVID. Yeah, yeah, not that much from the COVID, but we were just from COVID 2020 because COVID had started 2020. Yeah, I remember very well. So this guy decides and invest in his money, takes his savings and invest in wholesale and retail, or like retail shop business. Yeah, something like that. So I first I went for the location hunt. I hunted for location and I got it as a good spot. So I went and asked for the rent, and I was told the rent was going for 6,500. Actually the shop was going for 6,000. 500 was for the security because the landlord told me he had a security guy that I had to pay 500 every month. Yeah, so I paid for the rent for 4 months: January, February, March, April. Yeah, then I went for for sourcing the goods. But luckily, where I was working, I did not just move in a bad way. I told them, we sat down, I told them, I want to open a shop, and I want to explore the experience I've been having here. Yeah, I want to at least spread my wings, and they welcome, and they accepted my offer. They accepted. They told me it's okay if you decided like that. It's okay. We wish you all the best. In case you need any help or any support, just reach us out. Well and good. So first, that was 1st January. I sourced the products, and then we started the business January, February. And then in between the February, I had a girlfriend who we used to date, but we were not that serious. So I decided, let me call, let me now call my girlfriend. I just decided, no, I'd shared the news with her that I've started. God has helped me. I have now I have my own space. I can operate the business. And I told her, ask her if she can join me, and she said yes. Sorry for my shrubbing. Yeah, yeah, it's okay. So, and she agreed for my for my offer to join me in my business. So she joined me, and we started doing business. We were just good. She was a good lady. She was a good girl. We did business very nicely. So, so in the middle of the year, which month was that? January, February, March, April, May. Was it June or July? I think it was July. I got COVID. Yeah. There was some celebration, Jamhuri Day, I think. Oh no, Madaraka Day, that was being held in our area. So I decided this Madaraka Day. No, I didn't go there, but where my shop is was close to. It was just can I say 30 minutes, 25, 20 minutes walk from my shop. So people went there when they came back, because where my shop was, it was like an estate. So when people came back in the evening, I think I that's the point I transmitted the COVID. That's the point I got. The COVID was transmitted through shaking hands. But you see, people like somebody like me, I was in a very risky position, because I was handling cash by that point. So that I think that's the point I got COVID, of which it was so bad. But I realized, I have a very, and I really thank God for that. I have a very strong immune. So I realized that, and then I had a friend of mine his mom happens to be a nurse, and I contacted them, and they advised me what to do. They told me to to boil the water, and then cover myself with a sheet or a blanket, and I inhale the steam with my mouth and remove with nose. Inhale with my nose and remove with my mouth, and that helped me. And then they told me to take what to boiled ginger, garlic, and lemon. That really helped me a lot. Yes. So after that, I think that period, that period that I left, I took, because it happens for almost, can I say, 1 month? Yes. And I'm telling you, retail shop or retail business industry, it's very funny. That business, strat any distraction, any small distraction, you're back to factory setting or zero. Because I left my girlfriend at the shop, but during that time, I didn't want customers to know that I had COVID. They could have, boycott coming to my shop. Yeah, and my shop was doing very well by that time. So I told my girlfriend, you just stay here. If anybody asks you, tell them like I've gone for a business trip. And that's what she did. Anybody who asked me, that's what she did. But what I did, I think the mistake I did, I could have just closed the shop, and yeah. Because my girlfriend didn't had the, can I say, experience of operating a business. So I think that's the point where all my that's all where it all began. So she was just doing business, like she knew, like take what do you want? This and that. Operating like you buy and you return change. But she didn't know how to handle the money. Like you take this and put there, you take that and put there. Yeah. So not that she was stealing. She wasn't stealing from me, but she didn't just have the knowledge of. I'd teach her for that period, but to my to my reasoning, like it was not enough. She needed like a year or 2 years because she was a slow learner. Yeah, my ex-girlfriend was called what was her name? Um, I've even forgotten the name. Oh my goodness, the name is here. Lavin Vayan. Yeah, Lavin Vayan. So uh, after 1 month, I went back to the shop. After I felt at least good a bit, I decided let me go back to the shop. So let me go back to the shop. So I went back and I proceeded with the business. So that time I was not there. This lady, there's some amount I used to put for the rent, but I forgot to tell her. So she did save that money. There's a certain amount I used to save every day for the rent. Like it was around 300 shillings for the rent. That 300 shillings you save for a whole month, that was coming around 9,000. So you see, you deduct 9,000, 6,500 from that 9,000. You understand? You'd remain with around 2,500. So 2,500, because I used to pay rent in two places, my house and where I was doing business. It was, my house was, how much was my house? 3,500. And then my shop was 6,500. So that was a total of 10,000. Yes. So she didn't do that. So I got a very big gap. I had to also work extra. Now I was doing things under pressure. The landlord wanted his money. So like both sides, money was needed. My house rent and my business rent. But I couldn't now manage that. I couldn't get the money easily. So I decided. So this mistake. Not everybody normally. This is mistake. I think most of you have done. So I told the landlord like I will pay you next month. I think that is the mistake I did. So remember the last month I was not there. I didn't pay the rent. So I'm in the second month. So at the second month, I told the landlord that next month I'm going to pay you all of it. So we have how many months? 2 months. The last month, the previous month, and the like the last month and the previous month and the month that we're in. So I was to pay those two next month. So in total, I had a debt of for landlord for around 13,000. Let me just say 20,000, and I think that's where it all started. Yes. So it reached a point, now I was doing things under pressure. I was so much confused and I was so much pressurized because both landlords they want their money, of which it was their right to demand their money. I'm using the word demand because the term asking, you know, they asked for the first month, but I told them I'll pay the second month. So the third month, they had now to demand their money. So it reached a point like I was not able to just raise. And I think the landlord just saw me, I was not in a position of paying because things were now, that time now, business has changed. Things are not going, business is not going well. Me too, I was not in good terms with my girlfriend. So and then something happened. Something very, very funny happened. The government did what? Enhanced the curfew. Curfew 5 to was it 5 to, no, 7 to, I think it was 6, no, 7 to 5 dawn. Yeah, 7 p.m. to 5 dawn. Yeah, and that, so I was not able to go back to my place, or I was not able to go back to my house. So I used to sleep in the shop. Yeah. So my girlfriend, remember that time I was staying with my girlfriend. Yes. So my girlfriend, you know how you just know how women reason, you know how women behave. So my girlfriend thought I was cheating on her, and she's that's the moment problems. We had problems, we had issues. Like, you understand, relationship issues. I have issue with my girlfriend. I have issue with my landlord. I'm not paid rent. I have debts here. So, and I just started, things just started falling apart. So I really got, it reached a point, the landlord of my house rent told me, next month, just go. Don't pay me the rent that you're owing me. Just leave my house and leave. So that was the moment I really got mad to myself. I really got stressed. I told my girlfriend, just go to the shop and operate it. Next month we're leaving. I just went in the house and started. Yeah, because I had nothing to do. I had no one to go to. Like, yeah, have you ever reached a point like you have no one to look upon to, you have no one to talk to? You are so messed up. My business is collapsing. I don't have money. I'm owing people. I'm having people. Like, it was just too much for me. So I decided, no, it can just happen. So during the time I was in my house, my caretaker, my caretaker wife, he didn't like me, literally. She never liked me. Him and and his husband, I don't know, with both of them, the caretaker's wife and the caretaker himself, they never liked me because they didn't like seeing people succeeding in life or progressing in life. Human being. So I remember, you know, the caretaker's wife told my girlfriend that I'm cheating on her. My wife got depressed. I remember that night she was almost taking poison, and that really shocked me a lot. I never thought, like, I know I used to just see those things in news, people taking poison, but I saw it face to face. She was almost, I'm the one who just took the poison and threw away. If I couldn't do that, she could have taken. Yeah, because she was really, really madly in love with me. She would do anything to protect our relationship. So I remember that time she even told me she stopped even going to the shop and went back to our family. So I was forced to go back to the shop to operate the shop, and by bad luck, it was only remaining 1 week so that we can change the so that we can enter the another month, which happens to be, was it November? Yes, November. It was November. I think I left my I closed my business November 15th. Yes, I remember very well. 2021. So it was kind of remaining 2 weeks. Landlord came and reminded me, like, you're migrating. I told him, "No, it's okay, no problem." I went and I went to my girlfriend's home, asked for forgiveness, and she accepted and came back. And I told her, now do this, go and close up the shop, look for a car, carry everything, and come back. Then in the house. And she did that. So after that, I think it was around December, we came to an agreement, and we came to an agreement, and I told my girlfriend, like, I just can't handle all this together. I've just lost my business again. It's too much for me. I want us to separate, because there were a lot of things that were going on in my life by that time, and my mind, I couldn't just handle them. I couldn't just handle them anymore. So after that, she wanted somebody who was very, I think women when they want. I think she wanted me to marry her, but at that point I couldn't do it because it was just too much for me. So I decided, no, let us just end this, or let us just separate ways. For I'm doing this not in a bad way, but just for both of us. Then we hit 2022. So 2022 January, I went back to my previous job, or to my boss where I used to work. In fact, they called me and told me, come back, my friend, come back. You're still our family, you're still our friend, you're still our brother. Come back and work for us. And I went back, and we had an agreement, like, let me just, if I get any job, I'll just go proceed with it. But meanwhile, I can just stay intact. So, like, I'm a businessman. I know how to talk to people. I got a job at a bakery. I used to sell bread. And so we signed a contract for 3 months. That we started the contract February. Yes, February, March, April. The contract was ending at April. Yes, so February, March, we were paid salary. March we were paid. February we were paid salary. March we were paid salary. So April, the our boss that we signed contract with, because remember there were okay, this is how the contract was. There was the company itself that produces the bread, and then there was this company that had signed an agreement with the company. So this person, the agreement was for him to do sales and marketing for this company, because this bread company was a new company. So this company, which happens to be our boss, was the middleman. He was in the middleman. I don't know if you understand. He was in the middle. So here we are. The boss is here, and then there's this bakery shop. So this guy disappeared, not knowing he had issues with the company. Because as we were selling bread and everything was doing well, until it reached a point, like, before, bread used to come at around 4 in the morning. So it reaches a point where we couldn't receive bread. Bread was coming late at 9 a.m. in the morning. 9 a.m. you can't sell bread. For you to sell bread, you have to wake up in the morning at around 5 or 4. So you go rush hour. Because there are a lot of competitors in the field. So you have to be ahead of the time, ahead of them, so that at least you can convince the client or customers and they purchase your product. Because remember, your product is new, so you have to go first come first served. Yes. So it reached a point where we couldn't get the bread. So I saw people started quitting the job. Others, there was a lot of complaint, a lot of issues, because clients were also complaining because they're not getting because they give orders but they're not getting orders in time. So they started also rejecting our product. So it just went, and the business collapsed because the guy had disappeared with our money. So we had nobody to go to. So again, I decided to go and join a motorcycle, like a border industry. It's kind of, you have a motorcycle and you carry people and they pay you. Motorcycles industry. I think that was, which month was that? February, March, April, May, June. June, I remember. So I started it on June. June, on 21st June, this guy got arrested at night. I remember very well, it was 10:15 p.m. and carried a certain lady who was going to his place. So I was arrested for traffic offense. I didn't have reflector, I didn't have helmet, and I didn't have driving license for motorcycle. Again, they said there were 4 counts. I didn't have insurance. The motorcycle that I was driving didn't have insurance, but it didn't have insurance, but it had. Yeah. So it was a bad day for me. Remember, I'd just come from a serious trauma. I'd lost my business. I'd lost my girlfriend. Again, the business for bread. I lost my money. So things were just too much for me. I couldn't handle the pressure. Remember, that was the first time me being arrested. I'd never been arrested. And I used to really brag a lot, like, I've not been arrested. And a friend of mine told me, you just wait. The day you'll be arrested, you'll never believe it. But let me tell you, it will happen like it will be like it will be like a movie, but in real sense, it's a reality. And that date reached, and I was very scared. I think that was the moment I think I was going crazy a lot. I was really going crazy because I couldn't believe what was going on in my life. I couldn't just believe. But in reality, it happened. Remember, you're being arrested for the first time, going to court for the first time, being sentenced to jail for the first time. It was too much for me. So I think those people, you know, I used to have I used to have dreadlocks and I shaved them. So I used to leave my hair. You know, I love hair, and I know one time I'll return my dreadlocks. Yeah. So by that time I had a long hair. So I think when police were and I had that day when I was arrested, I had my leather jacket and my hair was many. So I think they misjudged me by my appearance. So they thought like I'm kind of a criminal thing or a criminal gang. Yeah, I think they just they misjudged me. There's a way if you meet any authorities, these authorities they always think like you're a bad person. Yeah, but it was just too much for me. Yeah, guys, I'll give you the part 2 of the story. Meanwhile, thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe, like, comment, and share. Tell me your thoughts. Yeah, I'll give you part 2 of the story of my depression. I succumbed to my depression.